Hello, this is Maria. I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator in Ontario, Canada, and tonight's video is one of a series of videos for the MP Designs class to go. The video is on this card, which for our series is considered a bonus card, which means you get an extra card for this class. It is an Emboss Resist card, which uses the stamp set Words of Cheer. And it's this image that we will use on this card. So let's get stamping. You will need the following supplies, as well as the stamp set. You will need the following pieces of cardstock. It's a Mossy Meadow card base, and in this case, it is a top fold card. A 4 by 5 1/4 piece of Granny Apple Green, 3 3/4 pieces, 3 3/4 by 5 piece of basic white, which will be the art piece, and we'll keep that aside. We'll have the same piece, Granny Apple and basic white, for the inside, but I'll just set those aside for now. In addition, you will have a little piece of Mossy Meadow to emboss the sentiment on. So we'll put these aside for now, and we'll concentrate on, oh, you'll also need an envelope. Now I'm going to get out my silicone pad, because as you can see, you can't see the white against the white. There we go. Plus it's a photopolymer stamp. So you'll need a stamping pad, which by the way I have right here. All set to go. And the stamp. Now what we're going to do is we're going to stamp this image on the basic white with Versamark ink. And if you'll remember, with embossing, you'll need a embossing buddy, and that's to prevent the embossing going where you don't want it to go. And we're going to use white embossing powder. Okay, I'm getting out my Versamark ink, and I'm going to just move my stamp set out of the way, and we'll ink up the stamp really well. And if you find that your stamping pad is getting a little bit dry, or it's not embossing nicely like you would like, then re-ink it. You can get, mine looks like, oh, well, never mind, it still works. I've had that Versamark pad, oh, probably for 10 years. Oh, maybe it's time I got a new one. Okay, now I'm going to stamp it approximately in the middle, right here. And I'm pressing on it. I want to make sure that all of the image is inked up with the Versamark. And because it's a clear watermark, but in this case you can actually see, I don't know, can you see that? I've actually probably didn't clean my stamp well enough after the last stamping, but that's to my advantage. I can now see it. Now I'll take my white embossing powder. Now, you can't see that very well, but you can see that a little bit. And I'm just going to go and heat emboss that. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I don't know if you can see it, that I've heat embossed that. And what I'm going to do is, first of all, I will close up my Versamark and move my stamp out of the way. I'm going to take one of the new blender brushes, and I'm going to apply Old Olive ink all over the image. What we're looking for is, we'll get the card out here. You can see what I'm doing. Okay, I'll ink up my brush, and I keep one brush for each color family pretty well. And okay, all right. I was going to look for, I'm going to put another piece of paper under it, but then you wouldn't be able to see what I was doing. You can see that I'm applying color all over the image and then around as well. And you can apply as much color as you want. I like it perhaps a little bit darker in the center. I think that's almost good enough. Okay. So then you would take a piece of paper towel, and oh, here's one right here. Okay, sorry. And I'll just wipe it. There we go. And the embossing resists the ink so that when you wipe it off, it just takes the ink off the top of the embossing, and we have an Emboss Resist image. Almost the same, pretty close. Okay, just gonna close up my ink pad. And just going to move the silicone pad. I'm going to add this to the Granny Apple Green, and I'm going to use, my adhesive always seems to hide on me. I don't know how that is. Here it is. Okay. I was just saying to somebody the other day that it doesn't matter how many videos I do, I always seem to lose the adhesive or my bone folder. Test it on. There we go. View outside today. It was a beautiful day, a bit hot, but there's still that haze from the forest fires up north. You can almost taste the smoke in the air, and it does look hazy. I guess we're fortunate that we don't have the forest fires right in our immediate area. And maybe I'll just keep my fingers crossed. Now I add this to the card front, which is Mossy Meadow. Now I'll do the same for the inside, and then I'm going to stamp a little sentiment piece for across the front. Now you could do some stamping on the inside if you wish. I'm not going to do any right now. Like I said, this is our bonus card for the class to go. There will be 3 cards. There will be a special fold, and there will be a 3D item. These classes will be mailed out in early October. Like I said, these are the Christmas classes, class to go. And I'll just add this to, here we go, to the inside. Okay, now for the inside, you have a little strip of, here it is, Mossy Meadow. That's about 3 inches by 1/2. And I'm going to take the embossing buddy again, bring out my silicone mat. And in this case, I'm using Season's Greetings, and it's from the stamp set. And one advantage of the photopolymer stamps is that you can see exactly what you're doing. So if you have small pieces like this, it's a lot easier to stamp on. Now I had this upside down stamping, but it doesn't really matter, does it? Okay, the white embossing powder. Sorry, I'm off camera here. Okay, now I'm just going to go and emboss that. And I had a strip embossed already. And I'm going to add it to the card front with dimensionals. And I've put little dimensionals on the back already. Take my favorite pick tool to take off the backs of these are the mini dimensionals. And I'll just lay this right across the middle. Now to finish the card, we'll just add a few of the gems, the gilded gems. And again, I'll use make sure I'm on camera here. And you can put them anywhere you wish, but that's where I'm going to put them. So that is the bonus card for the Christmas class to go. Thanks very much for watching. I forgot to do the envelope. Here we go. So I'm going to do some stamping on the envelope flap. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little holly stamp, and there's some berries. And the holly stamp has a filler stamp, which is an advantage if you don't like to draw or color particularly well. So I'm going to stamp them in Old Olive and then fill it in with Pear Pizzazz. And you can do it any way you wish. Let's see if I want this going. All right, so I want it going this way. I'll do one here, and then one at the other end. Now, you can leave it this way if you like. That's quite attractive too, but I just want to show you how the filler, this is a filler stamp. It's a solid stamp. And the long point there goes towards the long point there. Very scientific, isn't it? Long point. And if it doesn't match up 100%, that's pretty good. Whoops, I just got a little piece of my finger ink on there. Isn't that a neat way to color things in? Now the berries. Just going to take some real red ink. And there's these 3 little berries. So there you have the envelope decorated, which goes with this bonus card for our Christmas class to go. Thanks again for watching.